My research was basically about Web 2.0 as a tool or a resource for runners in Africa. And I was using that as, I mean, the main function for that was how it gets people connected together and how it makes them motivated to keep running. So basically, in my presentation, I had to describe what Web 2.0 was and how it achieves these goals of getting people connected together and motivate them. So Web 2.0 is the new internet. And I say the new internet not to mean that there's a new standard or infrastructure, but basically the way people use the internet nowadays is mostly for social media type deals, collaboration between different people. So what causes that, or what facilitates that, is there's a lot of user-generated content. So people that go online create content as well as use the content. So there's a back and forth between the generator of the content and the user of the content, and that could be the same person. So how that actually affects what's going on with the running is different companies, and I picked an example of Nike. I've come up with platforms where people can create data and use data. So they become producers and consumers at the same time within this same system created by an organization. So the Nike running uses Web 2.0 functionalities to the maximum. I mean, they allow people to create a profile. They allow people to create challenges for themselves. And challenges I mean by coming up with a goal, like I want to run 10 miles this week, and then broadcast that, on that website. And other people that are in the same network can see what I'm planning, and then they'll join the challenge, and then we start competing. So that's data being created right there. And then when the other guys see what I'm doing, they consume what I'm doing. I see what they're doing, I consume what they're doing, and then we mix that together and becomes a competition. So the competition phase is where you now get motivated, because you're now not doing it alone. I mean, you could be doing it on your treadmill in your house in the basement, but there's hundreds of other people watching what you're doing, and you're watching what they're doing. So you become competitors right there. It might as well just be like, running as part of a team. So Web 2.0 in that regard has become this huge thing, helping people that otherwise are too busy to go to a gym or to go to a sports facility to actually compete with each other or to actually know what's going on with each other. And then the data that's created could be, how many runs you had, how far you went, how fast you went, how many calories you burned, and when you didn't run, or when you ran the most, what days you ran the most, and so forth. This system is keeping all that information, and it's going to let you know when you need to run and how much you need to run and so forth. So it becomes like a personal coach, That's also part of the motivation, because it's letting you know, hey, Musonda, today you have to run 5 miles. And then you go run 5 miles, and once you do that, there are voice messages that come through your iPod. Like say, Tiger Woods say, oh, congratulations, Musonda, you just ran 5 miles today. Or I'm Lance Armstrong, this is your furthest run ever, so keep going. So they have all these celebrity voices on there that, encourage people to do it. But I was linking all this to Africa and how Web 2.0 in Africa has taken hold. And the bigger research actually talks about how most African countries have leapfrogged this huge barrier in information and communication technologies. What I meant to say there was, like in the last 20 years, everybody thought information and communication technologies was going to be the panacea for African problems. But then the cost factor was a big barrier to build, fiber optics all over the place, to build terrestrial infrastructure for using copper wires and so forth was a problem. But then what happened with the development of mobile technologies, especially cell phones, was that most African countries could afford, because it's relatively cheap to build a cell phone tower that services hundreds of thousands of people. And because of that, you have a lot of people that have cell phones that can connect on 3G mobile telephony, where they can use the internet on the iPhone or BlackBerry, or even at home on their desktop. They just put a card at the back. So internet has become, relatively cheap and everywhere. And when people buy these Nike running shoes and the sensor, they're able to connect, at home. So Web 2.0 is taking hold, and I'm just happy for that.